Welcome, this is Donna Carroll. I am a medium or a direct channel who lives in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And tonight I am going to be channeling the Divine Mother. The Divine Mother is the prime creator, the soul that all life comes from, in the feminine form. So that entity has incarnated on this planet in different forms, but she came in as the Divine Mother in ancient Lemuria. And if you're not familiar with Lemuria, she's going to talk about it a little bit tonight, so you can get familiar with that energy. And without further ado, I'm going to bring her in. And she has a message for you and an activation, an energetic activation. So at this time, I call in my highest and best healing and channeling guides. I call in the archangels, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Ariel. I bring in 100,000 warrior protection angels. I ask them to protect this space, blocking all negative entities, energies, and thought forms. If anything's released during this channeling, I ask that these angels take it directly to Source for transmutation. Lastly, I ask Jesus Christ to overlight and oversee this session, making sure it's for everybody's highest good. And now I bring in the entity through my crown chakra called the Divine Mother. I ask to leave my body, and I ask that she come in with a message and activation. Welcome and greetings. I am the Divine Mother, and I come to you today with a message for your future as well as your past. I incarnated in physical form, in bodily form, in ancient times upon your earth, in the land that was known as Lemuria. There was a call put forth to celestial beings and star beings to come to Earth en masse to bring about reform on your planet, to bring changes to your planet, because Earth had suffered from degradation, and the beings that were living on the planet at that time had lost divine consciousness. Their consciousness had become low. And so there was a call and a plan put forth that the Divine Mother, which the channel is bringing forth, came down as a unit upon your planet around 100,000 years ago. I came down in one fell swoop from the highest divine dimensions to Earth. And within my bodily form, as I was grounding myself upon the planet, the other beings who came to create upon Earth came down within my form. I encased all the spirits within my form. At that time, many hundreds of twin flames descended upon your planet. They came in one unit from the stars, from the celestial realms, and when they came down to Earth, they divided into two. This is how the twin flames separated in third dimensional Earth. And from that point, they were involved with each other as they incarnated on your planet. But then, as the years went by, the twin flames fell further and further apart and would come back together on occasion to reunite their flame. When I descended upon your planet in ancient Lemuria, I came down as a hologram. It was a hologram. In other words, the civilization that was formed at that time was insulated from the other parts and civilizations upon your planet. So the Lemurians were very tall, telepathic, evolved star beings, and when they first fell to Gaia, or Mother Earth, they did not intermingle or have anything to do with the rest of the communities upon the Earth. In other words, Lemuria, upon its inception, was unto itself. It was vibrationally separate and at a much higher level than all of the other forms upon your planet, human and otherwise. Because as I said earlier, those life forms went through degradation. The plan, or the divine will, resulted in Lemuria because when that civilization came into being, the concept or the motivation was that life would be regenerated. That meant that the different beings who descended in twin form fashion, the different twin forms that came down, started to create life. They started to create, using my energy, they brought in many different forms from different places in the universe, or the multiverse, I should say. So in ancient Lemuria, there were many genetic experiments of different types of animals. The dolphins were there, the whales were there, different types of fish were developed. It was a seafaring oceanic culture. Many types of crustaceans, different types of plants, different types of even soils were developed when these star beings came down. And they created with abandon. They brought in many forms of life from many different dimensions throughout your multiverse. So what happened is a Garden of Eden was established in the Pacific Ocean where people could create, where they could play, where they could enjoy, and where they were divinely connected to me and to each other. The ancient Lemurians had an open heart. The hundreds of beings that came down initially were connected via their heart chakra, from heart to heart. Because of this connection, they could read each other intimately. They were full of love and good tidings for each other because they were not insulated within their own egos. They could feel the emotions of another person immediately, and those emotions were joyous and high. If there was any type of misunderstanding or difference of opinion, it was immediately corrected. It truly was a Garden of Eden. It was a paradise upon your planet. But with the divine will, there is always a reason. I did not incarnate in ancient Lemuria just to create and to enjoy, and neither did my brothers or sisters, the star beings and the celestial ones who descended. We came with a purpose, for a reason. That reason was to bring the divine energy, the divine essence, back in physical form upon this planet. The ancient Lemurians were lighter in form, but yet they were still physical, just barely physical when they first came down. Over time, as the Lemurians developed their culture, which was a culture that was highly invested in the feminine virtues of nurturing, cooperation, compromise, and love. You might say that it was a feminine or a female-dominated culture, as there was a call to bring this energy back to the earth. Over time, there was a need to bring the Lemurian energy to the rest of the planet. So over the hundreds and even thousands of years, the ancient Lemurians would study the different forms of life upon planet Earth, and they would try to develop, or they went to develop a plan to bring the Lemurian energy to the rest of the planet. So the Lemurians would fly out of their bodies and astral project and go to different land masses upon your planet and study the peoples. And many at that time were cave dwellers, or people that had, as we said earlier, gone to a more primitive form of life. The reptilian influence was also upon this planet at that time, although it was many years after the great extinction of the reptiles, and yet there were still a few pockets of reptilian energy. And as you know, the reptilians come from a different space or a different place in your universe, and they were having quite an impact on the life forms upon the planet. So the ancient Lemurians went out, they would remote view other cultures, and then they would come up with a plan to integrate themselves or bring their energy to the other life forms upon the planet. And so, when they were ready, the Lemurians would unite with their twin flame, and they would go to other places upon the planet and bring tidings of the Mother Goddess, divine energy, and the feminine way of life. Oftentimes, they were met with hostility, but the Lemurians were resilient beings, and eventually they colonized the planet, and they would have interactions with different forms of humans upon Mother Earth. Eventually, the Lemurians interbred with these other forms of life, and different humanoids, hybrids if you will, came about. When the Lemurians went out and colonized the planet, the culture itself in the ancient Pacific Ocean, the walls, the vibrational insulation dissolved. What did that mean? It meant that the hologram that was implanted in this reality, the walls of that hologram started to dissolve. When the walls of that hologram started dissolving, basically Lemuria fell in vibration, and its vibration became lower and lower and lower over the many thousands of years, although it was still much higher than the rest of the life forms upon your planet. After Lemuria fell in vibration, there was a perversion of the feminine virtues, meaning that the Lemurians considered females superior to males, which was not the intention of the original twin flames who came down, as they divided into the male and female aspects of themselves. There was no hierarchy. Both were equal. However, in the culture, the female, after many thousands of years, became more valued, more revered, and the emphasis was on putting the feminine above the masculine. And this caused a disparity in energy. It caused a disequilibrium, and it caused a turning away from all that is in harmony and balance. And so, at the end of the Lemurian culture, the female was dominant, the male was somewhat subservient to that energy, and in reaction to that, the culture of Atlantis rose, which was male-dominated and acknowledging the male energy more than the feminine energy. And this was a karmic playoff or retribution from the imbalance that occurred in Lemuria. The reason I am telling you all of this is to let you know that what is happening now upon Mother Earth in the early part of the 21st century is that the Lemurian energy is rising once again. First of all, let me say that when Lemuria sunk, it sunk underneath the ocean, but there are still outposts of that energy upon your planet, specifically in New Zealand, in Hawaii, Polynesia, and even in Mount Shasta, California. These are remnants of that culture, and if one is connected to the Lemurian energy, you can go to these places on Earth and still feel the vibration. And these places are known as holy places, or places that carry a certain frequency or energy to different people upon the planet, especially people in the New Age movement. But long story short, Lemuria went underneath the planet, and at this time in your society, there is a call by divine will to bring that energy back to the planet. How is this going to happen? Right now, the Divine Mother Goddess is making herself known. Right now, she is starting to speak through this channel, and she is imprinting other people with her energy and her words. People know that things or societies, humans, people are shifting in their consciousness upon the planet. This is no accident. There is a huge push for people to develop in their consciousness. And to be quite blunt about it, either you will get on the train and move to the next destination, which is the new Earth or the new age, or the rebirth of Lemuria, or you will be left behind upon the old earth. There is a separation going on right now, cosmically, consciously upon this planet. Either you are in the group of individuals ascending to the new earth, or you are in the group of individuals who is still locked in fear. There is a physical component to ascension. It all has to do with the Kundalini energy that rises up your spine. It is associated with the sexual energy. They are one and the same. And that is why in India, people practice Tantra or Tantric sex. People practice meditation as well. And this is all to bring the Kundalini up. Right now, many people are losing Kundalini energy through their root chakra. They are losing it because they are maybe practicing sexual acts or other types of energy losses, fear of survival, fear of not having enough money. All of that fear is held in the root chakra, and then it can be dispensed. There is a call right now to bring that energy up the root chakra, through the chakra system, through the heart, through the throat, third eye, and the crown. And essentially what you want to do is bring that energy up and become united with all that is, God or the Mother Goddess. You can do this through meditation, through Tantra. There are ways to do this. And the ancient Lemurians who came to your planet, of course, were fully enlightened and had open crown chakras as well as open heart chakras. But now most people are not enlightened. Their chakras are not fully opened. And if they were to fully open, if you were to fully open your crown chakra without a guide, a master, a practice that you had been doing for incarnations, it could be somewhat dangerous. That is what spontaneous combustion is. It is a lighting up of the Kundalini so fast, so far, so furious that the physical body actually disintegrates. So if you are interested in pursuing enlightenment, which eventually you will be, because what happens is souls incarnate on this planet and they come here to experience all types of situations, all types of interactions with different people. I myself, the Mother Goddess, have incarnated here thousands of times in many different life forms, and I had many lives that were less than divine in order to gain experience about the human condition. But now it is the time for the rebirth and the recommunication with the feminine aspects of ourselves. So as the Kundalini rises, it is very, very important, of course, to get into the heart chakra, because when you get into the heart chakra, you start having true love, true compassion, and non-judgment for your fellow beings. However, it is a very difficult chakra to cross. There's a lot of pain and torment that comes about with the crossing of the heart chakra. And eventually, you're going to go into the throat, the third eye, and then out of your crown chakra and connect with all that is. I am coming back through this channel and through other messengers at this time in an effort to bring feminine, loving, sacred, nurturing energy back to the planet to create a safe space where beings can spiritually develop in peace, quiet, and harmony. It is my goal to create a space upon this planet, in the new earth, where individuals do not have to sequester themselves in monasteries or nunneries to connect with the divine. It is my intention and my will to create communities upon this planet, societies on Mother Gaia, where people can express themselves, the divine and true nature of themselves, and connect with the divine and engage in spiritual practices that are an everyday part of their life. The reality is that you are spiritual beings and you existed in the light way before the times when you were encapsulated in density. As a human in physical form, this is a far cry from your divine self, your divine incarnation, the reality of your light being. Many humans, as we have stated before, have gotten locked, lost, and stuck on this planet in what seems an endless reincarnational cycle. The purpose of the ancient Lemurians was to bring that divine energy back to the different hominoids upon this planet. And the purpose of all the light beings who are incarnated here right now is to be conduits for other humans who wish to return home, to create a pathway. The light workers are like huge icebreakers, breaking up the ice, creating fluidity, creating movement, so that the other beings can follow in their wake. And these light workers must be applauded because many of them have been incarnating over and over and over again to make this a reality. Many of them have suffered martyrdom, death. They have suffered judgment. They have been burned at the stake. They have undergone much pain and much suffering to bring the light back to Mother Earth. And so we say, and I say, the time is imminent. There will be a rebirth of the ancient Lemurian culture and civilization upon Mother Earth. It is coming about with the return of the twin flames. As they reunite, there will be a great upsurge of energy and enlightenment for those twin flames. And then, with the power that that creates, other forms of life will be able to ascend as well, meaning humans. You must be in human form to go through the enlightenment process on this planet. So, along with the Lemurian energy returning, which will be peace, prosperity, there will be great reverence for the natural world. People will become vegetarian. Some people will even live off of prana or life force. Eating meat is a human invention and not of divine will. As the Lemurian culture is brought up again, there will be an influx of new energies coming to the planet. Energies from Jupiter, also from Venus in your solar system, as well as beings coming to the planet that have never been here before. The channel mentioned previously that the Arcturians who have come to the planet as observers are actually going to be midwives, birthing the new Earth, and raising people's consciousness, helping to heal them, helping to get rid of the reptilian energy that's so entrenched on this planet. And they have been coming in as well. But there are going to be star beings that have never been here before. They have not incarnated at all upon the planet. And if you look at the children that are being born here today, they are known as the crystal children, the rainbow children. Many, many of them are from very high spaces, celestial realms, and they have never been here before. They are coming to this planet to bring new technology and to create the new civilizations. However, the ancient Lemurians, many of them took a break. They did not incarnate after the fall of Atlantis, and now they're coming back. However, some of them have been incarnating the whole time upon your planet through Atlantis, through ancient Samaria, through Egypt, through Europe, through the Native American cultures. These beings are the ones who are creating the grounding. They are grounding the energy into the earth. The ones that have incarnated all along. It is a great blessing to have these young ones who are going to change the face of the planet. But none of this would have been possible if it weren't for the warriors, the light warriors, who have been tirelessly coming to this planet year in and year out to bring the shift that is now imminent. And so I wish to thank them. I want to thank the ancient Lemurians, the twin flames who made this sacrifice and who brought the celestial codes to Earth. I want to thank all of the light beings that are coming to the planet now who are going to bring in new technology, new ways of doing things. I want to give them my thanks. So, as you can see, this is a very exciting time to be on the planet. You might not realize all of this is going on around you as you go about your daily lives, fill up your car with gas, prepare dinner. But I can assure you that all of the great prophets of old were not daydreaming. There is a great shift coming to Mother Earth, and it is going to happen very soon, although no one knows the exact day or time. However, it has been prophesied in all cultures for many thousands of years. So you can rest assured that it will transpire. And so I am very grateful to speak with you tonight, and I want to say that I would like to do an energy activation, bringing in the energies, the thought forms, and the reality of the ancient Lemurians back into your consciousness. And so I ask that you breathe very deeply 3 times. Go ahead and breathe in love and breathe out love. Breathe in love and breathe out love. Breathe in love and breathe out love. I ask that you fully open your divine channel, the chakra system, which will, in the future, become unified and just be a white divine channel of light. But go ahead and open that crown chakra. Open your mind, your third eye, your pineal gland. Opening your throat. Opening your heart, your solar plexus, navel and root chakras. And now send a crystalline cord down to Mother Earth of your highest intentions and highest will for the return of the ancient Lemurian energies. And I ask that you connect with the Akashic record in the crystal core of Mother Earth. And now we ask that you bring up the Lemurian codes that existed at many, many thousands of years ago. Bring in the original sacred Lemurian energies from the Akash in Mother Earth and bring them up through your root into your heart chakra. Okay. And now, keeping your crown chakra open, I ask that you receive the codes from the Mother Goddess. And these codes are a reaffirmation of life upon the earth. And bring in these crystalline codes through the crown all the way into your heart. And these stellar codes now mix with the Lemurian codes. And now, I ask that you take a trip in time, and we ask that you open your third eye and take yourselves back to the ancient Lemurian coastline, to the Garden of Eden that existed there. And I ask that you imagine beautiful, calm, tranquil, oceanic waters, turquoise in color. Look out over those waters as you sit upon the white crystalline beaches and see the dolphins playing. You are telepathic with these dolphins. You communicate with them and they communicate with you. Look out and see the mermaids, the mermen. Look off to the distance and see the whales. And see an abundance of life in the seas. All is calm and peaceful. All beings have a working energetic system where they are connected with the universal codes of consciousness. As you sit upon the beach, look behind you and see great beauty, green, beautiful foliage, huge butterflies. See beautiful tropical flowers of all colors behind you, blooming. And then looking off, see your brothers, see your sisters, your brethren, communing, conversing. See them dancing and worshiping the divine. They are full of love and joy, connection, and happiness for each other. And as you take this in, you feel 100% present in the moment. There is no past, there is no future, There is only the now, and the now is astoundingly beautiful. You have no fear. Fear does not exist. All that you feel is comfort, peace, acceptance, and happiness. You are in joy. You are in ecstasy. This is your Lemurian heritage. Soak it in, bring it back. Life in Lemuria was celebrated in all aspects, and the divine feminine was worshipped as it was a bridge from the celestial realms to earth. Mothers were revered above all at this time because they gave birth to babies who would bring in the star codes and who would continue the ongoing cycle of life. The mothers were the backbone of society. They were consulted and they were revered. And this reverence was something that did not have to be earned, because the people of Lemuria had unbridled love and compassion for all, not just their children, but for all people in the community. And so we ask that you connect with this compassion for humanity and bring it back into your hearts. Many of you long for the return of Lemuria, especially if you had incarnations there. And so you look at this scene wistfully, but know that it is destined to become a reality upon this planet once again. So at this time, we ask that you lift your hearts to God. And as you sit in this tropical paradise with these beautiful beaches, accept the divine codes that are coming through your crown chakra right now. Take those codes that have been settled within, that are settled within your system, and now we ask that you energetically send them out to the rest of life on this planet through your hands. Activate the chakras in your hands, placing your middle finger on the palm of the other hand to activate the healing center of that palm. Now activate your other palm. And now we ask that you send these codes out to the rest of humanity. These codes will come from your heart chakra, and send these Lemurian codes out to anyone and everyone who is willing to accept them. And as you do this, their consciousness rises, and they become connected once again to this ancient civilization. Sending the codes out to all of the animals, all of the people, and the other forms of life upon Mother Gaia, And now we ask that you take that Lemurian energy from your hands and envelope the entire earth in it. Put that consciousness in the ethers, in the sky, and wrap it around Mother Earth. Send the energy into the waters, into the oceans, and as you do this, it becomes a conduit, a conductor of the Lemurian energy across the planet. Send this energy to the South Pole and to the North Pole. We ask that the Kundalini of Earth at this time awaken. We ask that the chakras of Earth awaken. We ask that they start ascending and that the shift takes place on a physical level upon the Earth. As she is ready to move into the next dimension, and now we ask that you lift your hearts and send your love up to the divine realms, to the Creator. And receive all of the blessings and light that comes from that dimension into your hearts. And finally, we ask that you bless yourselves and send your blessings across the earth to all of creation here. And then send those blessings out into your solar system and out into your galaxy and out into your physical universe. And then breathe deeply. Know that you are in accordance with divine will, and all will return to divine will in their own time, in due time, when they have the understanding that the divine will is the highest will for the highest evolutionary thought and highest state of consciousness for all men and women upon your planet. And so I say goodbye. I love you. I send you my deepest regard, my deepest respect. Know that I am your divine mother, and you are my child, and this will always be. Amen. And now the channel is back. I'm back, Donna Carroll, hey. I want to thank you, and I want to send you my highest love. I also want to mention that I do personal readings where I channel the archangels and your highest guides. So if you're interested in a reading, email me at crystalhealer555@gmail.com. That's crystalhealer555@gmail.com. Thank you very much. Have a great day.